All right, almost hit another one, and the Falcons somehow don't
Oh
win
my
the
God.
game with the what was it, a first and goal? First and goal driving and just tip was it tip ball?
Yep.
Uh,
Tip ball pick.
why are they even throwing? They never
I
throw.
know.
Like,
Unbelievable.
I mean, I know.
First and goal at the 1 or 2.
Oh my god, it's like the Colts on Monday night. It's like first and goal at the one, and they Aikman's just destroying Matt Ryan, telling them to hand the ball to Taylor. They finally hand the ball to Taylor, and he doesn't take the handoff. But yeah, the Falcons were right up there in terms of just. I mean, this it has to sting if you're a Falcons fan because they had a legitimate shot. The Bucks lost.
They
The
still
Saints
do. That
lost.
division's that
I mean, they
was
still do, but I mean,
yeah.
you can't keep giving these games. I mean, at this point, I might have to take out some money on a Panthers future. You know,
I have the Saints
because
to win the division. They're 4-8, and it's
yeah,
live.
it's
Like
live.
if they win this week, they have the most wins in the division. If the Falcons lose,
I mean, you have some interesting hedging opportunities because you could hedge it like a little bit of a little sprinkle on the Panthers. Maybe the Bucks lose another game. You could you could hedge out of like all of that if you really wanted to. That's a good division to invest in. I think we talked about that early in the year too. It's like you just need upside in that division because things could definitely go wrong
yeah,
for the Bucks. And Todd Bowles has no idea
joke.
what
And
is
now
going on.
Wirfs is hurt. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah. One of us will have a breakdown of that game, but feel like feel like probably be on the Saints.
Yeah.
Um okay. So with that being said, let's focus on this week. Where are you going?
Let's go. Let's get a little crazy. Let's go to Houston Texans money line against the Browns. This is what I've done with a lot of times. You always hear me say this on this podcast on our college one with money line dogs. I'm just looking for uncertainty, and that is what we have here with Deshaun Watson. Is he going to be rusty? I don't know. I mean, probably. How's he going to look? I don't know. He hasn't played a live regular season game in over it'll be 700 days. And we saw him in the preseason. He had a couple high and low throws. It was 5 throws. I don't know what that means, but there's a reason that quarterbacks have preseason, and the guys that come back, they look rusty after injury right away. Like, so there's a chance that he just looks awful. And the Browns' problem hasn't been quarterback play. Like Brissett has been fine. All of their losses, and when the defense is just non-existent, and the special teams have been horrific. And Texans actually have been decent on special teams, but if the Browns run sim defense shows up here, then Pierce can get going, and Watson makes a couple mistakes. I don't know. I think the Texans are a corpse. I'm so happy I didn't bet them last week, and the line got up to 14.5. I thought about it, but this
He
is
still didn't cover too.
I know. This is the game where they will show up for. Like, yeah, there's Watson would have win it too. Yes, but what I mean by that is this will be a packed house. It'll probably be by far the most people that come to the stadium all year. It'll be electric leading up to it all week, and this team will finally have life. And look, they played the Eagles in a primetime spot. You saw them have a little bit more juice. They went up to New York, and this is when they were able to run the ball. And they actually outgained the Giants. They should have won that game. When they can't run the ball, it all falls to shit. But you can run the ball in the Browns. So I think Pierce can get going here. And then I just have a lot of uncertainty with Deshaun Watson in his first game back. He could go wild and they win by 30, fine. But it could be an abject disaster, and he could just look horrible in his first game back. Fumbled snap, throws a pick six, and all of a sudden you're alive here in a game that I think the Texans, who are a corpse and probably will want to tank, will actually show up for this game. This is the one game that they want to win, basically because the crowd's going to be there. It's going to be hype, and maybe get a few calls because of that. And so, yeah, I think just with all the uncertainty with Watson, this is a good money line dog candidate.
And who knows? I mean, there's been a lot of, criticism of the signing of Watson and Watson himself, for good reason. But with that being said, who knows where his mental state is at? Going into his first football game, knowing exactly what everyone's going to be thinking about, and it has nothing to do with football. And I believe I heard that some of the lawyer, I think the lawyer in the case, and some of the victims are going to be in the stadium. So I mean,
Wow.
his head could be in a whole different place.
I hope it gets sold out. I wonder if it is. I don't like.
I bet it is. I think this is their Super Bowl. This is the Texans Super Bowl. Like, beat your old quarterback who everyone thinks is is a scumbag, and like that's like Jacoby Brissett was the good guy, and he's gonna be on the bench. And I mean, the Browns are I believe it was number 4. They are number 4 in offensive DVOA. He did a great job. Yeah, 4th overall, 8th passing, 3rd rushing for the Browns. But yeah, Chubb and Pierce could both clear 100 yards, and could just be one of those back and forth games that something goes wrong for the Browns. They could lose that game.
I just read this press release. Deep Steel Sunday is back at NRG Stadium this Sunday. The Texans host the Browns. Houston will wear the color rush uniforms. The Texans have won 5 of 7 games when they play in those outfits. Wow. Repping H-Town and banging the drum will be World Series MVP Jeremy Pena. The 10-time Grammy nominee Torrin Wells will sing the national anthem, perform at halftime along with the Houston Texans cheerleaders. They will have a performance at the half. There'll be other Astros here. This is like the Super Bowl. They have like performances and special uniforms, and hopefully. Oh, by the way, also an injury worth mentioning that I think does matter is we'll see if Derek Stingley plays, because he makes a difference as a number 1 corner. But we'll see if he's.
I think he's got a lot of talent. He has been giving up a lot of production though. So Amari Cooper is going to get his. I've learned this ranking him in fantasy 2-0 week after week. He will get his regardless. But yeah.
Where are you going?
I was gonna go with the Jets because I really like them this week. I'll probably be on the spread, but I'm looking at the numbers, and just like the Jags lines has been flip-flopping, the Steelers are laying points on the road against. So I'm going right back to the Falcons. Like, let's hope they get it done this week. Every game for the Falcons is going to be close because they shorten the game. They run a lot. They'll be at home. They're still alive for the division. Pittsburgh, not a Tomlin spot, on the road. Letdown, more like a letdown spot, coming off a win, unfamiliar opponent.
Short week.
Is it an early start too? Let's see.
Should be.
Yep, early start. This is the Steelers lay an egg spot, and as much as I want to like Kenny Pickett, I think he does have some talent and maybe has a bright future. I'm not sold on him yet, but he's been. Now that Mayfield is out of the picture, Kenny Pickett's been the worst quarterback from a clean pocket in the league. And so, this Falcon team, they're not going to get a lot of pressure.
They give you clean pockets.
Exactly. They'll give you pristine pockets, but it's just going to come down to, can Arthur Smith hit a couple of his scheme plays to Olamide Zaccheaus and Kadaro Hodge, and Atlanta's going to run the ball. And, Pittsburgh has a good run defense, but Atlanta's one of those teams, they're so heavy. They'll have 3 tight ends out there, fullback, that, sometimes these run defense numbers don't mean as much when you're just, putting more bodies out there. So I think Atlanta, the Steelers, the Steelers are favorites on the road. They beat the corpse of Matt Ryan barely, because they let the Colts go right back into that game. And now they're favored on the road. I can't get there. So I'm going to audible and go with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, we just talked about how good Washington's run defense has been. They've been great. And they, Atlanta averaged almost 6 yards per carry last week in that game. One thing that I'll mention, the Steelers have played a really tough schedule. I'll give them that.
They absolutely.
But this looks like it might be a little bit of an overreaction from last week. One thing I haven't talked enough about special teams this year, but I'll mention this week that the Steelers kickoff unit has been so bad. Like who was the kid out of Pittsburgh State?
Flowers.
Yeah, Flowers.
Yeah.
He had some huge returns. That's happened all year. So look out for Atlanta as one of the best kick returners in the game. Indoors. So
yeah,
just keep your eye out for that.
And then and Williams has been pretty good on punt. I think he had a fumble, but he's been pretty decent too. So yeah, they got a few. This is exactly the type of game the Falcons win. Get a special teams play.
Yeah.
Run home, get a young, and the Steelers kicker, is kind of unproven. Well, the Falcons got Young Wei Koo. So yeah. I might have to just take the Falcons straight up on the spread as well.
It's a good spot. It's a classic.
This is ridiculous. Spot. I mean, Steelers favored by on the road. No, come on now. So if you parlay the Falcons about even money and the Texans at plus 270, you get a little over 6x. So 100 gets you a $712 payout. So hopefully we can get back to the parlay hitting at the same time. You've hit 7 of 12 weeks. You've hit your money line dog, and I've hit in 5. So we have 12 money line hits through 12 weeks. So still pretty good either way. But hopefully we can get
the AFC North hate money line parlay, which I love.
You're right.
You're a Ravens fan.